Internet Gordon. I'm with PC World at Computex 2023. I am at Corsair's awesome party before Computex starts. But even better than that, I have Usman Pirzadi with WCCF Tech, and he has seen a Meteor Lake laptop on display already.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, you're probably one of the few people that have seen this, right?
Yeah, so Intel held a closed door event for media, and I think there were around 20 or 30 journalists there, and they were eventually actually showing off the Meteor Lake VPU. So the VPU is a specific area of the silicon that they have sort of designed to handle AI inference tasks. So essentially imagine Gigapixel or ChatGPT or stuff, inference-based, not training. And while we were there, we noticed that the laptop was most probably a Meteor Lake laptop, and we managed to get the task manager open, and it was indeed a Meteor Lake laptop. And Intel, after that point, actually confirmed quite a lot of few things as well. So it was, I think, very, very early silicon, so the clock speeds are not reliable at all. In fact, even the core configuration might change, although that's a bit more reliable than the clock speed. So the task manager screenshot sort of showed around 22 cores, 16 physical cores and 22 threads. So if you go by the leaks that have happened a few months ago, you're most probably looking at around 6 P cores, 8 E cores that are in the computile, and 2 E cores that are down in the SoC. So a total of 22 threads, and that is because the E cores, they're not hyper-threaded, so they do not have a second thread. Only the P cores are hyper-threaded. So total of 22 threads. But yeah, that was most probably the first working laptop that Intel actually had out, and you could actually see the uptime on that laptop, and it was just 8 days. And yeah, very, very early sample, only good for sort of the early excitement about Meteor Lake, but yeah, not good for anything else.
And for somebody who doesn't remember all of Wikipedia, what's Meteor Lake built on? What process? And that's a stacked part, right?
Right. So Intel is still keeping a lot of that under wraps. So there was Meteor Lake S that was initially planned, but then we were hearing rumors that it was cancelled. So I'm not entirely sure which Meteor Lake that is, because there is speculation that Intel might be moving the Meteor Lake that has been planned for laptops back over onto the desktop side, or they might not. So depending on that, it might actually change. So that's not something I can really confirm or even speculate with a degree of certainty right now. So if I could, I definitely would.
I mean, obviously it's very, very early, but people want to know any inkling of performance. Was there any kind of performance hints from there?
Not on the main compute side, but yes, Intel did show off performance benchmarks of the VPU. So what Intel showed was that if you use the VPU in AI inference tasks, so let's say you are upscaling an image on Gigapixel, or maybe you're upscaling a video, or something, or maybe even if you're generating an image on Stable Diffusion. I know Stable Diffusion is pretty popular right now. So you can actually achieve the same performance at 1/5 of the power envelope, or you can get a 5 times speed up. So that's pretty decent. And the funny thing about that is that Intel actually had numbers on their side before, but the legal department told them to sort of remove the numbers and just stick with the block sizes. But you could tell from the block sizes that that was a 5 times speed up. Yeah, and the block itself is actually present in the slides as well, so you can also calculate it from there that it's a 5 times speed up. Yeah.
And then also, a lot of people are expecting a big branding change. They've even kind of confirmed a brand change.
Yes, they have. The person that confirmed the branding change, Bernard, was actually there at the event as well. Yeah, so it's definitely confirmed. How Intel deals with it remains to be seen, and I personally think, I know it's a bit of a controversial statement because a lot of people are fond of the I and core branding, but I think simplifying it into what has leaked out is actually a good call, because as time goes by, the demographics are changing. people are sort of like aligning more with the Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. Like, you know, I think that the I nomenclature is sort of 90s in a way. Or at least it's 2000s. It's definitely not 2020 or 2023.
Yeah.
So I actually like the fact that they're rebranding. I think it might, help them sort of reinvigorate interest in their processes, because once the nomenclature changes, once the positioning of the processors change, it's going to be people are going to relearn what they think of Intel's value proposition, and that has to be good for the company.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think it's a big deal either.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
I do wonder though, like they're like I think Core 7 Ultra was kind of one of those.
Yep.
I kind of wonder if that implies that this part is going to be so very mixed, because you might get better AI performance on some, you might get better graphics performance, more compute. So
yeah, but I think what was true before is going to be true this time as well. Like initially, like a decade ago, the iGPU was something that would have vastly different performances among schools. But if you bought a higher end CPU, the general gist was you'll get a better iGPU as well.
Right.
So I assume that is going to hold true for this nomenclature as well. If you buy an expensive CPU, it's going to have a better VPU. It's going to have a better iGPU. So I think at the end of the day, if you spend more and the nomenclature number is higher, you are going to get higher performance. So I agree with you that I think it really doesn't matter as much.
yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And obviously, can we speculate on when it's going to launch at all?
Yeah, so I have no idea when it's going to launch, because we are getting so many reports and all of them are conflicting that it's very hard to distinguish right now what is true and what is not. If we ever do have sort of a certain picture, we'll definitely post about it, but as of right now, we're not sure. But considering that they had this event and closed doors, you can safely assume that it's not going to be in the first half of the year, because only June is left. If they were going to launch it in June, they would have sort of announced it already, or at the very least at Intel Vision that was held earlier. But we might see it in the second half, or there's always that small possibility that it might get delayed to early 2024 as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Usman, for the report on Meteor Lake, seen at Computex 2023 already.
Yep.